So a lot of the videos this month are going to be in this outfit because I'm sorry you guys, I'm too lazy to change. Hello everyone, it is Samantha and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Earlier today on Instagram, I asked you guys to share with me your bookish pet peeves because I wanted to talk about them and react to them in a video. And that's what today's video is. It is me reacting to my Instagram followers' bookish pet peeves. Quite a few of you guys chimed in with some of your bookish pet peeves, quite a few I agree with, and there's actually quite a bit of consensus among all of you. So without further ado, let's dive into bookish pet peeves. The first one I got was when non-readers say reading is a waste of time because it teaches you nothing. Yes. Anytime a non-reader criticizes anything about reading, I get really annoyed. Like, they say, why do you do that? It's boring. I have better things to do. I'd rather just watch TV. And it's like, well, I'd rather read a book. So, you know, see me sitting over here going, I'd rather be reading a book when you're watching TV. Do you? I don't say that. So, like, respect my love of reading. The next bookish pet peeve, love triangles and insta-love. They need to stop. I agree. There does seem to be a rather overwhelming quantity of love triangles in books these days. I encounter it all the time. Like, you don't need to add a third person to add drama. Like, I'm okay with there not being a love triangle. Could you please stop? Maybe, that'd be great. And insta-love, yeah, I don't feel like I see this as much in adult fantasy. I do think it's a little bit more common in YA stories, but there, you know, just a slow burn is fine, you know? They don't need to just instantly fall into each other's arms and like, I love you, you're my soulmate. I'm okay with like a slow burn leading up to it, like slowly realizing they love each other. Being friends first before they realize they love each other. Even that. Yeah, I hear ya. They have gotten a little old. The next pet peeve I have here is when authors overuse the word and, as well as an overuse of the M dash. Yes, especially the M dash. Sarah J. Maas. You can end a sentence, people, or you can use a comma. You don't always have to use an M dash, okay? Especially when you have like 10 per page. Sarah J. Maas. The next pet peeve I have is when a character overhears something out of context and then there's a huge miscommunication. Yes. I feel like this is used a lot to cause drama and angst and suspense when people don't communicate. It's like, no. How about y'all just talk? Like, you know, I don't know. Sit down and have a discussion? What a novel idea. Quite a few of you agree that dog-eared pages, cracked spines, ripped dust jackets are all very annoying. I agree. Also, I see a lot of people on the train every day reading their hardcover books with the dust jackets on, and I cry inside every time. I did not realize that it's not common for people to take their dust jackets off. Like, people at work were shocked that I do, and I don't understand it. Like, okay, you're reading a hardcover book. Sure, the book might get a little dirty, but that's why you have the dust jacket. You can cover it up. And I'd rather have that covered up with a nice clean dust jacket than have a raggedy ass dust jacket on my shelf. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand why people don't take their dust jackets off. And dog-earing pages, I will never understand it. Not to mention if you reread the book, then you're gonna have like all of those folds. Like, how do you find your new dog-eared page when you're rereading the book? Like, just use a bookmark. Please. Though, if it's your book, you do you. I'm not gonna, you know, judge you. It's your book. But if you do it to my book, no. Oh yes, this is one of my personal favorite pet peeves as well. When a cover has a person on it that doesn't fit any character's description. I never understood that. I also like when you have a book cover with things on the cover that aren't in the book. Like, one time I was reading a book and there was a dragon in the sky. There were 0 dragons in that book. 0. Not even a mention. And yet, the book cover would lead you to believe otherwise. A few of you also had this pet peeve, and it is cover changes mid-series. Yeah, why do they do that? They just finish out the cover. Like, why? Why do you need to rebrand the cover art in the middle of a series? Just keep going with it. You had a good thing going, just keep it going. Or release both. Like, if you really want to do a revamp, then still put out, you know, the final books and the original cover designs. Why do they do that? It's very angering. Stickers on books is another very common pet peeve. Yeah, Target. It's really annoying, especially when you pull it off and there's like sticky residue left over. Y'all didn't foresee that happening when you stuck it on. Another pet peeve from a lovely follower is people who sell books they've written all over to used bookstores. Yeah, you know, I guess I never really thought about that. I don't know if I would consider this one of my pet peeves. Sometimes it can be interesting to see what people wrote down and what their thoughts were. I encountered this more when I was in school and I would get like textbooks and other books secondhand for school, and to kind of see what notes people jot down in the margins. I don't think I've really encountered it that much in fiction books that I'm at the bookstore, like Powell's, but I do know it happens. But I tend to flip through a book first to see how many markings there are inside if it's a used book, because I probably won't buy it if there's a lot of markings on it, because I'm like a clean book person. I like my books to stay clean. For me personally and how I treat them, I like them to be like prized possessions and I want to keep them in good condition and I like to look at them all pretty and pristine. That's me. I know not everyone's the same way. I know some people really like that well-read, loved look to a book. Just, you know, it's a personal preference thing. Oh, this is one of my biggest pet peeves right here. And this came from a few of you. People who basically try to talk to you while you're reading. Like, I'm sorry. Sorry. Is this book not open? Is this not open? There's no pictures here. That means I'm reading. That means I'm in the middle of trying to see what's happening in this story. And that this is like the universal sign for don't talk to me. So I agree. That's annoying. The next pet peeve I have from you guys is unnecessary sequels and series. Like, yes, series are great, but not all books are meant to be a series. Yes. Case in point would be V.E. Schwab's the London series of books that I can't remember the name of because I'm a terrible human. But yes, that's a good example of it, is V.E. Schwab's books, because I've encountered often where she does a trilogy or a duology when the book could have been one, because almost nothing happens in her books. So if you take out all of the things that didn't add to the plot, and then you put all of the things that added to the plot together, it would be one book. You know, it is annoying. I feel like it's like a tactic by publishers, especially for more popular authors. It's the way they try to like sell more books. That's why I think they do it. But yes, I agree. This is an annoying thing that happens. Somebody else's pet peeve, aka my sister submitted this one, is people who do not return lent books. I have 3 books that I've basically considered lost. I'm never getting them back. Never. They're gone forever. It's sad. This is another interesting bookish pet peeve that I've actually never thought about myself, but he says, when I can feel the words being written, it breaks my immersion. I think I kind of know what you're saying, because there are times that I read a book where the writing feels very forced, and like I can tell, like I can, yeah, I know what you're saying, I just can't articulate it. It's just, when the writing feels weak and kind of one-dimensional and not very descriptive in a way where if I don't notice a movie playing in my head, but I feel very much like I'm reading words on a page. That's, I guess, how I would describe it. So I agree. I tend not to like books written that way. This is another one of my personal favorites, and I keep seeing it more and more often, so I don't know if this is like an inside joke among authors, but it's the overuse of the line where, you know, they say they let out a breath they didn't know they were holding, that line. I have read at least 4 to 5 books this year that had that line in there, and I feel like it's a joke among authors. I feel like they got together and they're like, hey, there's this thing that people hate when they read it, so like, let's all put it in our books. Because I think that happened, because it's been way too frequent lately. Oh yes, this one I actually agree with as a pet peeve. When a paperback book is so stiff you have to break the spine. I do hate a stiff paperback. In general, I kind of prefer paperbacks, mainly trade paperbacks, to my reading, but when they're so stiff that you're like this basically, you're like, I can't see like the first half of that sentence because it's covered, because the spine sucks, it's annoying. And I wish they would make them more floppy, because floppy paperbacks are the best kind of paperbacks. And a couple of people of you suggested, and I agree, people who say that comics, graphic novels, audiobooks are all not real reading. To me, personally, if you are ingesting a story, and whether it be through your ears or through your eyes, no matter the form, to me it's reading. I count them. I agree. You're reading something. That's all that matters. Even if it's a freaking newspaper, you're still reading. And the final pet peeve would be when the paperback cover is just a tiny bit smaller than the rest of the book. Like, you can kind of see the pages around the edges. I have encountered that before, mainly in mass markets, and it is very, very annoying. And I think it's just them being cheap. or their printing machine sucks. One of the two. Both? I don't know. Alright guys, that was me reacting to your bookish pet peeves on Instagram. This is a lot of fun to do. I like to see what different things that irritate people and whether or not they bug me as well. If you have any bookish pet peeves that were not in this video but would like to discuss them and rant about them, because who doesn't like complaining? I know I do. Leave them down in the comments below and we can talk about them there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Until next time, happy reading. Bye!